Hello everyone, a warm welcome to my channel. Let's begin with the legislature in the USA, the US Congress. Now the legislature as we have in India, you can go and watch my previous videos. This is part 4 of the video, which is usually based on the US Parliament. We will be focusing on the US Parliament, US Senate, House of Representatives, functions of the speaker, and definitely the allowances of each members, their privileges, powers, and a comparison too between the US and India in terms of the parliament. So let's begin. Now you can see in the screen that it is US Washington DC, the US. This is the US Parliament. Now the US has also made some wings: legislature, executive, and judiciary. Okay, now in this chapter we are going to focus on the legislature, because in case of India too we have done the legislature, then we will do the executive, then the judiciary. So focusing on the legislature, see that it is also known as the Congress. Before we move on, I also want to show you, see, executive, legislature, and judiciary. So it's not judicial. Judicial powers are there, but it's judiciary. It's wrong here. Now see, led by President, Commander-in-Chief. President is the Commander-in-Head of the US, recommends laws. And this we are going to discuss today, this part, okay? See, just compare to give you an idea. We will do all of them in details, but today we are going to focus on this only, okay? Let me first read out the article 1 of the US Constitution. That is, all legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in the Congress of the United States, which consists of a Senate and a House of Representatives. And this article specifies the lawmaking power of the US Parliament. So, first we are going to learn the structure of the US Congress. So this is the structure. You can see the US Congress is a bicameral legislature, that's like India, and the House of Representatives are there and the Senate is there. In the House of the Representatives is the lower house, popular house, because it contains the many individuals. As compared to this, there are 435 members, and here 100 members are there. You can see the tenure too. Lower house has a 2-year tenure, upper house has a 6-year tenure. There are both have this. Senate has special powers and functions. This is a less powerful house. This is less powerful in position. This is the strongest house. And federal legislative powers are there. They follow the presidential system of parliament. President in parliament, the lawmaking process is called that only. Now I want to tell you something about the Senate. Senate is the upper house, and it represents the states of the US Federation. Now that each state has 2 representatives, whether big or small, equal number of representatives are there. The people of each state collectively elect the 2 representatives of the state of the Senate. Okay, this is the Senate. The House represents the sovereign equality of all states. Sovereign equality means that all the houses have equal number of seats, and they are they are beyond any interference from other states. It is a permanent house because again 1/3 of its members retire every 2 years, and so each member is getting 6 years term. Now, Vice President and President are the ex officio chairman of the Senate, and this is the executive house. It is an upper house. It is more powerful than the lower house because there is a presidential system. And here again we come to the House of Representatives, or the lower house. It is directly elected. Its strength you can see 435, and single member constituencies are there. Each member should be elected from a definite constituencies. I have told you the meaning of constituencies in the previous video. Go and watch them. And direct elections are there, secret ballot are there, simple majority vote system are there. Now each member enjoys a 2-year term, you can see here, and a citizen should be of 25 years of age or above with a 7-year residence in the USA when he is seeking election, and not holding any office of profit. We will discuss the qualifications in a while. Now we come to, this is clear, you can pause your screen and take down the notes. Next we come to the powers of the US Congress, that is the of both the upper house as well as the lower house. Now first, as usual, we come to the legislative functions. The US Congress is the federal legislature. I told you it enjoys lawmaking powers when I read out the article 1. Now it is divided, these powers, in clause 3. It is divided, clause 8, sorry, it's clause 8. Clause 1 say, article 1 clause 8 says that the division of powers in the Congress can be of 3 types, like delegated powers, implied powers, concurrent powers. Okay, let's discuss each of them. Now what are delegated powers? These are the powers that the Congress derives from specific enumeration in the Constitution. The Constitution provides them with specific powers and arises from the fact that United States is a sovereign state. Now delegated legislation, what are the examples here? That to conduct foreign affairs, power to tax, raise armed forces and declare war. 18 subjects are there in case of the delegated legislations. And next is the implied legislations, means the power which had not been specifically given to the Congress. Here in this case it is specifically mentioned in the Constitution, but in case of implied powers it is not delegated to the Congress, but it is available as a part of the delegated powers. This power can be from where they are gained. What is their source is that they can be from the delegated powers only, they are a part. They can be some delegated powers are there, and from reduction of some powers from this delegated legislation we get the implied powers. For example, we have the law, currency, coinage, and the coins and currencies, and the power to tax and regulate banking industry too. Okay, as far as the coinage and banking industry is concerned. Now the concurrent powers, which have been both given by the Constitution, again it is given by the Constitution, to the Congress as well as the state legislatures. Both the federal, state and the state governments can borrow money, can open up charter banks, corporations, and maintain courts. This is concurrent. You can see both have the C, so you can see that courts are there, then banks are there, general welfare for the people are there. Okay, in the concurrent list. In US, the residuary powers is given to only the state governments, and the Congress, that is the Union Parliament, cannot make any laws over the residuary subjects. Executive powers. Upper house has the executive powers. As you know, The upper house has the executive powers. Now the president is appointed from the upper house. The vice president is also appointed. And what is the upper house? That is the senate. Remember, upper house is the senate, and in senate, when it gets by 2/3 majority approval, then that person is made the president. The congress has alone the power to declare war and create executive departments and take also information and reports from different executive departments. What are these executive departments? These are mainly to function for the welfare of the people, for implementing the policies of the congress. Okay. Investigation committees are also appointed by the congress, and powers have been given to the congress with a view to check the possibility of misuse of power. So both of them have been given the investigative powers and to set up investigation committees, so that not only if the US Senate has power over it, it can misuse it. So it is also, the lower house is also acting as a revising house. Now, financial powers. Congress is the custodian of all federal finances. It controls the national purse, and it has the power to tax. Whoever has the power to tax, they control the public finances. They also approve budgets, foreign aids. We know that the US in different parts of the world, they support different wars. They have some military troops in different parts of the world. In fact, every country has. So they need to check those budget, and it can constitute investigation committees for checking that whether the finances are used for running the administration, or they are exploited, or it is the money is lost because of corruption. And an important means by which the congress can influence and control the administration is by the exercise of the powers of the president. We know that president in US is the head of the state, commander of the army, commander-in-chief of the army, and he is the head of the state, just like our prime minister in India. Now, fourth, judicial functions. They determine the qualification of the representative members of the respective members. Each house has the power to punish any person found of guilty of contempt of the house if he or she is incapable of his work, or is guilty of committing some crime against the people, or the congress can remove any person by impeachment. Who can be removed by impeachment? The president can be removed, vice president can be removed, judges of the supreme court can be removed, civil officers can be removed, and if they are found of high crimes, and they will have to prove them, obviously. In impeachment, what happens? The charges, the house of representatives frame the charges. What is the house of the representatives? The lower house. And the senate investigates. Supposedly house of representatives frames the charges, and senate gives decision and approves them too, investigates them too. And fifthly, we have the constituent powers, means with regard to the constitution. See, you can see here, constitution, C. Okay. And in article 5 it is given that it has the power to initiate constitutional amendments by 2/3 majority in both the houses if it secures, and it is very supposedly 2/3 bill is there, it gets 2/3 majority of votes in both the houses, then it is sent to the state federation for the approval. It needs to secure ratification 3/4. Okay. Now they become a part of the constitution. US constitution is a written constitution, but changes are made from time to time. And it is said that the US constitution is a rigid constitution because so many procedures are there. In India we have some subjects that can be amended by a simple majority, but here every bill needs to be approved by both the houses and obviously approved by the president. Electoral powers: the Congress has been assigned the power to elect the president and the vice president. Now come the presidential election. No candidate is able to secure absolute majority, means 276 of the votes of 270 out of 538. Now the House of the Representatives have the power to appoint and the president from the first three candidates who are securing first, second, third. Likewise, in this manner, if no vice presidential candidate secures the absolute majority of votes, the Senate has the power to elect the Senate again. In case of the president, we have the House of the Representatives, president, and in case of the Senate, we have the vice president election here. Okay. First three candidates I have told you in case of the president, and the first one is obviously elected. And in this is if no vice presidential candidate is there from the, or there is no majority of votes in this case. But in US you know that it is very easy to get majority of votes or absolute number of votes because they have only two political parties. Okay, that becomes an easier choice for the people too. And if now this is a situation, if there is no vice presidential candidate, the Senate has the power to elect one out of the two candidates as the vice president of the USA. If there is a vacancy, then the powers goes to the president, who can elect his or her companion, a candidate for vice presidency, because they need to work together, no? So again we come, this is the powers. So from the discussion that we have, we can see that the constitution gives more power to the upper house, that is the Senate, and less powers to the House of Representatives. Now this is a logo and of the House of the Representatives of USA. Now we have also discussed how there are the impeachment processes done. In actual practice, the framers of the constitution that they have done, the constitution framers, their standards are never reached. There has been an increase in powers of the president, which is making the Congress a bit weak because power is concentrated in the hands of the president sometimes, and it is making them weak. Obviously they have the presidential system of election, president has some more powers. Now there is also a short tenure, we can see it is not more than the 2 years for the lower house of the representatives, but we have the 6-year term for the US Senate members. Now we have seen how some laws are made, amendments can be done, but you need to see that the Congress is a very prestigious, influential and powerful, has a powerful position, but not as powerful as the president. Let us now discuss in detail about the US House of Representatives, as we have discussed in case of the India's Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha, House of Representatives, which means they are representatives of the people. Now how they are elected, their composition, we will now discuss them too. So, the US House of Representatives is the lower house, but it is the popular house and it represents the national representative house, which reflects the public opinion directly because they have the polling as same as that of the Indian Lok Sabha. Now we need to see the composition. So we have seen there are 435 members. The constitution lays down that no representative shall represent less than 30,000 citizens. Our representative will represent the public opinion of 30,000 citizens. There the population is also less, you can see. But the people of the state must be represented by at least one representative, even if the population is less than 30,000. Okay, even supposedly a state which has less than 30,000 population, there also we get one representative only. Okay, when the state when it comes to the state. Now, what are the qualifications? He must be a citizen of the country, USA, must be at least 25 years of age, must be the residents of the country for 7 years, and he must be a resident of the district from which he or she is elected or representing the place or the district. A constitution desires him to be the resident of that state. So he must fulfill all those qualifications which are prescribed by the Congress from time to time. We have seen the election functions, electoral functions of the Congress. There you can find it, this thing. And he should not hold any office of profit in the under the United States of America. So he must have not been accused of treason, sedition, or any felony, or felony means crime. No member during his term will be appointed to any civil office from where he is given certain, or civil office means the executive or the departments or the public sector undertakings of the government. He should not be present there, and from where she will create some emoluments means their privileges for himself or herself. Now the House of the Representatives has the right to prevent any representative from taking his seat. Then how will they decide that the person is immoral? They will have if the majority of the candidates say that he is or she is an immoral person, then he or she will be rejected. What is the method of election? Universal adult suffrage. As I've told you, in each constituency the votes are there. There's single member constituency, and majority vote system, simple majority vote systems are there. A candidate who gets more amount of votes wins from that constituency. Now, what is the eligibility? And beforehand it was 21 years. Now citizens who are more than 18 years of age can vote for their candidates. What are the privileges of the members? They have the privilege freedom from arrest when there is a session going on, but he can be arrested when he is civil suit, and the US House of Representatives is not convening a session. I have told you the meaning of session before. That is the period between which they discuss, the different policies. Now they have complete freedom of speech. They can debate anything, they can question anything. So these are their privileges. They are tenure, and here they are immune from the civil offenses, but that doesn't mean if they are offended they will definitely be removed. Okay, charges will not be like rendered useless, they will be given punishments. Now comes the tenure. They are elected for 2 years. As you know, there is no limit, they can get elected. Now the sessions of the House. The 20th amendment has made it essential for them to hold at least one session of the Congress every year. When does the session begin? 3rd January each year. Okay, the two houses meet simultaneously and they convene a joint sitting, and in case there is a disagreement regarding the date of adjournment of the session or ending of the session, then the president decides the date. President again has the power to call in a special session of the Congress during an emergency. And however, once the Congress comes into a special session, it alone and not the president decides the date of adjournment of the session. Now, what is the quorum or the basic number of representatives to be present in this house for the meetings to start? It is 280. So we have got an idea. In my next video I'm going to do about the speaker and other things of this US Congress only. Okay, thank you for watching.